स्वभावचिन्मयानन्दं कृपापूर्णं जगत्पतिं हरिषड्वर्गजेतारं नित्यानन्दगुरुं भजे। स्वभावचिन्मयानन्दं कृपापूर्णं जगत्पतिं हरिषड्वर्गजेतारम्।
सदा शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। I welcome you all with my love and respects. Special guest from Governor's Office. Today's subject, the power of sound. All the spiritual masters, enlightened beings, all spiritual traditions, all religions, all mystics understood, experienced the power of sound. That is why, whether it is Vedas or Bible or Quran or Dhamma Sutra, everything says first there was a sound. From sound, everything is created. There are so many scientific researches proves the whole thing can be reduced just to vibrations, just to sound vibrations. Vedic seers, Vedic masters declare the whole universe is nothing but nada, sound. That's why they say nada Brahmam. The whole entire universe, existence, cosmos is nothing but the vibration, sound. Today, we will explore a technique by Mahadeva, Anandeshwara, to experience enlightenment through sound. Mahadeva is giving a technique. The book which I am going to speak now, the book from which the sutra is taken, is 10,000 years old, attributed to Shiva, Mahadeva. Traditionally we believe that Shiva gave this book to Devi. His teachings to Devi is recorded, and that is Shiva Sutras. Sometimes people ask me, how do we know it is given by only by Shiva? How do we know these sutras are delivered by Shiva? I tell them, if you see the sutras, if you read the verses, anybody who has got this much knowledge, depth about the mind and the being must be Shiva. He must have experienced Shiva consciousness. Understand, Shiva or Buddha is not just a person, it's a state of a being. Anybody who achieves that state will be called as Buddha. In our tradition, Shiva, Buddha, Vyasa, all these words are just a state of a being. Still now, the disciples of Shankara is called Shankaracharyas. That is why we use two words, Adi Shankaracharya and present Shankaracharyas. Anybody who represents is called with the same name. It's like a title. So, anybody who has experienced, anybody who has got knowledge to this level, to this depth, he is Shiva, no doubt about it. He has experienced the truth. The way in which he expresses, with that we can very clearly understand whether he knows or he has just read. We can be sure this book is not from a person who read and acquired knowledge. This book is from a person who has experienced, because he is giving solutions for all possible problems. He is giving solutions for the human beings who lived on the planet Earth, who are living on the planet Earth, who are yet to come. He is giving keys to open all doors. Today we will explore his technique, his meditation technique to achieve enlightenment, higher consciousness through sound. Almost all the enlightened traditions, all the enlightened masters and the traditions created by them have worked on the sound. Sound is one of the important methods to awaken the higher consciousness in you. In the East, language is not used just to convey a particular meaning, a logical concept. The language is used for transmitting vibrations also. That is why we call Sanskrit. The word Sanskrit means refined, purified. The Sanskrit is not just linguistic, it has got phonetic importance also. Sanskrit is not the language just to convey a logical concepts, few words, few ideas which you think. It has got phonetic importance also. That is the reason no Veda mantra can be altered. Sometime you may feel if you use some other word, the meaning will be more sharper, more clear, but you can't change the word. Even if you think, I think this word can express the truth in a much better way. I think this word can take us to more deeper level. Even if you think that way, you can't change the word. The Vedas, the Sanskrit verses are repeated same way. The other day I was reading a research report about so many different scriptures. The researcher says the less corrupted book on the planet Earth is Vedic scriptures. Less corrupted. Just because our devotion to that literature, with no printing media, with no other preservation system, except listening, except listening and repeating, there is no other preservation method for last 10,000 years, at least 10,000 years. The Vedic books, truths have been preserved without corruption. Even if some masters write commentary, they will say very clearly, this is mantra, this is my commentary. See, people who write commentaries, their charisma is so, they are so charismatic, so impressive. If they just alter few words, nobody will oppose. Nobody will oppose. But no master dare to do that. That's the greatness of our masters. They have done text torturing. They have interpreted in their own way. But nobody had the courage to touch the original sutras. whether it is Shankara or Ramanuja, Madhva or Bhamati, any Vachaspati Mishra or Atmananda, you can name thousands of masters. One more important thing, each one of them are expressing their own ideology. It means what? They have their own vested interests. Commentaries are given just to convince people that what I am saying is supported by these great masters. Understand? Commentaries are nothing but justifying their thinking trend, justifying the truth which they want to express. Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, each one of them had their own vested interests. Each one of them wanted to convince people about their thinking trend, about their own way of expressing the truth. Each one of them have expressed in their own way. Each one of them were expressing in a different way. And if you see a little deeply, it will be funny. Sometime the same sutra, how many different meanings it can come, how many different meanings can be derived, can be taken out from same sutra, from same verse. Sometimes not only it will be funny, it will be horrible. Really, I am telling you some of the insider secrets. These are all some of the insider secrets. You will be surprised. Some sutras being commented in a totally different way by Ramanuja or Madhva or Shankara. One more thing, these great masters have done a great service to the society. Same way they have created enough of problem also. Because these three people, the fight among these three people is the fight which is happening all over India still now. Still now, because each one is interpreting in their own way. But even with all this commotion, amidst all these problems, amidst all these things, nobody dared to touch the original sutras. Understand? Nobody ever had courage to touch the original sutras. Whether it is Shankara or Ramanuja or Madhva, they give the original sutras, then they give their own meaning. They interpret words, they take out some words, they add some words, they give their own meaning, they present in their own way, everything they do, but in their commentary, never in the original sutras. First, Shankara writes Bhashya, commentary, that is why he is called Bhashyakara. Then Shankara's disciple writes Vartika, Sureshwaracharya, he is called Vartikakara, means commentary on commentary. And the next comes Tika. Tika means commentary on commentary on commentary. By the time truth is lost. It's like there's a beautiful Zen story. Tea was kept in a cup. Somebody drank the tea, washed the cup, poured that water in another one cup. That guy drank that cup, that water, and washed that cup and poured that water in the third cup. And the third guy, he is drinking that water. What smell or what will be the connection between this water and that original tea? That is what will happen when you read the commentary of commentary of commentary. But the beauty is, not a single master had courage to touch the original sutras. Because they all know it has got phonetic importance also. It is not just linguistic. It is not created just to convey a logical meaning. It is beyond. See, if a language is created just to convey a concept, you can develop, you can change the words, you can use better expressions in course of time, you can remove some words, add some words. But the Vedic scriptures are not just created to express a concept, to express an idea, to express a logical sentence. It is created to transmit vibrations also, because our seers, our masters know the power of sound. They know the power of sound. It was never altered. And one more thing, it will be very funny, even the grammatical mistakes made by the rishis, the grammarians or the pandits, intellectuals, were not allowed to change. See, if an enlightened being, when he speaks, he may make some grammatical mistakes. Pandits are not allowed to change that. Naturally, the disciples will be pandits. It's a trend from day one. High intellectuals will be disciples. The fellow who is innocent, who doesn't know the language, who is not a big orator, he will be the master. Because he knows, he expresses the truth as it is, in a simple way, very raw words, doesn't even know the language, doesn't even know how things can be expressed. That's away from the time immemorial. That's the way the life was. Even the mistakes made by rishis can't be corrected by pandits. It is called arsha prayoga. Rishis have been given full freedom. Seers have been given full freedom. They can make any mistakes. That becomes grammar. That becomes grammar. Because sometimes they are trying to express the sound. They are trying to transmit the vibration. More than a word, the vibration is the main thing. So Sanskrit is not just linguistic, it is phonetic also. Because our rishis know the power of sound. They know the power of sound. I can say thousands of stories to prove the power of sound. Let me tell one or two incidents which happened in my life, which I experienced, because I am witness for these few things. Instead of telling so many stories, I can tell so many stories from our tradition. Even the power to curse is nothing but power to handle the sound. One more thing, still there are so many researches going on about this Brahmastram. We really suspect Brahmastram, which is described in our tradition, is nothing but a kind of a nuclear bomb which was used in those days. It was a weapon used in those days by using the power of sound. Just by the power of sound, they were able to create such a positive or negative energy. See, the Brahmastram was used for both purpose, for creation or destruction. Even to make a person enlightened, Brahmastram was used. If it is used for creation, for enlightening somebody, it is called Brahmobadesam. If it is used to destroy somebody, it is called Brahmastram. The purpose for which you use, according to that, the name is given, but the same energy, just like nuclear power, it can be used to kill or to help. Both the way it can be used. In those days, I think few thousands of years ago, our masters know the technique to use the sound, to use the vibrations, and they were able to play with the vibrations. Let me tell you an incident, story from my life. It's not story, history, it happened. I had the great fortune of sitting at the feet of a great yogi called Raghupati Yogi. He lived in Arunachala, my native place. He was born and brought up in Tibet area. So he lived in Burma also, Burma and Tibet, both the countries. I think in those days, Burma was not independent country. It was part of India under British. He lived with the lamas also. When I saw him in Arunachala, He was looking very simple, humble, normal man. Nobody knows much about him except the few people who lived around him. He's a very silent type of a person. Let me just narrate few incidents which happened, which describes the power of sound. One day we were all sitting and chatting. One bird picked up a fish from a tank, from a temple tank. We were all sitting on the banks of a temple tank. Arunachala temple has got a beautiful, huge water tank. Actually, in India, temples are not just the worship place. They are the place to store grain, water for famine periods. And they are the place for storing the culture, art, dance. That is the place, that's a library. That is practically university, the spiritual universities. There is a huge temple tank. One bird just picked up a fish, and the fish was dying. It is just, dying and trying to save itself. But the bird has caught the fish nicely. We saw it. He was sitting with few of us. We saw it. Somebody commented, "Master, just see that in your presence can this happen? One life is dying. Why don't you save that?" Of course, I don't know how to justify what he did. I can only say the power of sound. I don't know why he did or what he did. He just looked into that bird and made a small sound in the tongue. Through the tongue, he made a sound as if a stone is thrown at that bird. Just the sound. If you throw a stone to that bird, towards that bird, what sound will come? Same way, he just made a sound through his tongue. I saw very clearly, the bird just fell and died. Looks like a story. Sorry if I am not able to connect with your logic. Please forgive me, excuse me if I am not able to satisfy your logic, but I saw it with my eyes. I can't help. Of course, you have all the right not to believe, but I don't have right not to believe. I have to believe because I saw it. You have all the right not to believe. Not once or twice, at least 20-30 times I have seen him playing with sound and creating that effect in the outer world. I was shocked. Just one sound, as if a stone is thrown, aimed at that bird and thrown. Just that bird dropped that fish and fell and died. As if a stone has hit that bird. I was shocked. It is too much. Same way, once I brought coconuts from temple. You see, usually in temples, they will break coconuts for worship. And these young boys, their only work is go and collect that and bring it. I used to run for that coconut. They will break in front of the temple. So I brought little coconut for him to eat. He is a poor eater. He eats maybe once in 3-4 days. Once in 3-4 days he will eat something. So I collected some coconut and brought. He wants to break that coconut and make it more smaller pieces so that he can eat. I tried to find some stones here and there. I was not able to get any stone. The stones were too big. He just took the coconut in the hand and made a sound as if it was hit by a hammer. Just a hammer sound. Understand? He took the coconut in the hand, through the tongue. He looked into the coconut, made a sound through the tongue, like a tuck. And the sound was so strong, the vibration was so strong, the coconut broke into pieces. Just pieces. Again, I'm sorry. It's too much, I know. It's too much. And too much to talk to a person who is born and brought up or who is living in the West to say all these words. You see, in the East I can tell all these words, people will simply connect. Because in every village there will be somebody. Every village will have one healer. Healer means for any small disease, people will go to that person, he will sprinkle some sacred water or chant some mantras, the kids will become all right. And I should tell you one more fact, one more important truth. My age is 30, 29 is completed, 30 running. In this 30 years, I went to hospital only once when I took birth. That's all. Only once. No allopathy medicine, no vaccination, no other injections, nothing. When I was taken, when I took birth, of course, mother went, I did not go. Once I came out of the hospital, over. See, it is not just me. I can say at least lakhs of people are there in India who live like this. If they fall sick, they go to some local healers, some pujaris, some temples, some priests. Still the tradition is there. We don't know how to justify or how to connect or how to logically present all those things. I don't know. I can only tell you the fact. Now it is up to you to analyze or connect or justify. You may give the reason, it is just because of faith or placebo effect. So many big words you can find. Scientific words and research words and all those things. I don't know all those things. Still, there are millions of people in villages. They go to that local healers, that priests, temple pujaris, or that whatever we call. I think we don't have a right word in the English language because that concept does not exist. So we don't have a right word. That guy will just chant some mantra and sprinkle little water. The child will become all right. Still now in Indian villages, very difficult to believe unless you see. Unless you see, you can't believe. In Sri Lanka, during the annual festival Buddha Purnima, Buddha's enlightenment day, thousands of people will walk on fire. Same way in our ashram, every year, at least 3 or 4 times we do the fire walking. Hundreds of people do the fire walking. I will be the first person to walk. We do fire walking. Sometimes people ask me, how is it possible? How you guys are able to do it? Just all we know is there is a music, there is a special kind of a music, the vibration which is created, and everybody knows that they can do, simply they do, that's all. No other logic. If you think, will I be able to do? Gone. Nothing can be done. I tell them, no, don't walk. No, you are not allowed. Whoever asks, Swamiji, can I do? No, you can't do. Forget about it. And whoever knows, I can, you can do. Please walk. Somehow you know it. That's all. It just clicks. That very sound, when that vibration is created, they are made to meditate for 10 days before they do that fire walking. In the 10 days, their body and mind is prepared with chanting, vibration, meditation. They create a peaceful thoughts. Let me be in peaceful. Let my body and mind be completely integrated. Let the whole world be in peace. Your thoughts have got powerful impact on the outer world. When you create so much of peace, when you create so much of feeling connected to the nature, nature does not disturb you. Person who has created enough energy to connect with the nature will not have doubt when he sees the fire. I'll be standing there just to filter. If I see little fear in their eyes, I tell them, no, you can't. If somebody walks with doubt, he gets hurt. If the person does not have any doubt, he is very clear. I know, I can do. He never gets hurt. He never gets hurt. It is a simple feeling connected. Just something clicks. and you are there, nothing happens. How to logically describe? No way to logically describe. Something happens, that's all we can say. There is no logic. There were scientists from Wisconsin University went to Sri Lanka to do research on this firewalking. How this is possible? It's not just 5 feet or 10 feet, understand, 60 feet. 5 feet you can just jump. 2-3 steps you can just jump. It's not 5 feet or 10 feet, 60 feet. And at least 10 steps you have to put, not 20 steps, because you can't put 10 feet one step. Maximum you can jump 3 feet. Of course in the fear maybe 4 feet, not more than that. So at least 20 steps you may have to put. And live charcoal, fire. Very strange thing. People are able to manage, and nobody gets burnt, or even clothes, even the cloth which they wear. It's very surprising. Anyhow, but the scientists were not able to give any logical reason why it is happening. Because the scientists, they tried, they got hurt, they got burnt. They also tried, but they got burnt. You can't say, they were not able to give some clear idea why the Buddhist monks were able to walk and why the ordinary person, normal people, are not able to do. They did all possible researches, the blood checkup or whatever they can do. Beyond body, there is something. Beyond the body, there is something which comes to play in that space. That's what we call power of sound, power of vibration. There's a particular music, and people even who walk on the fire, they can walk only when the music is created, when that vibration is created. Means your body and mind can be elevated, can be transported to a different plane of consciousness, different plane of existence by sound. Understand? The same person can't walk without that sound, without that vibration, without that mantras, without that chanting. But that chanting, he is able to walk. He is able to successfully do the ritual. He is able to go through. So, power of sound, the power of vibration, sound or vibration can transport you, can lift your body and mind to a different level of consciousness, to a different plane of existence. There are a few more incidents I can say which happened with this Raghupati yogi, the great yogi. If he creates a sound like a dog, just small 2-3 sound, small, just like a small tuck tuck, he will create a sound. And I have seen 20-30 dogs that all over the area will come towards him. Whenever people bring food for him, he will eat little bit and throw everything else to the street dogs and all the animals which is living there. He will just create one sound. Usually if you call, the dog won't come. It will be afraid to come. It will be afraid to come. And you can drive the dog out, but you can't call it. Driving is possible, you can throw stones or shout, it will run away. You can't call. But I have seen, you will create a small sound, all the dogs will run. And not only that, sometime I have seen, he will create a small sound, snakes will come. Just sound, few small sounds. It is not even like a sound, it's like a vibration. Just in the one corner, through the corner of the mouth, he will create that vibration, sound. Snakes will come, as if they are tied by a rope and being pulled. Just like that they will come. Usually snakes will go like yes, this way they will move. But when he creates a vibration, I have seen snakes will come straight as if a rope or thread is tied and it is pulled straight. And not only the snakes or anything, same way the fruits from the tree, I have seen with my own eyes. If we are sitting in a tree, under the mango tree, especially with the mango tree and coconut tree, I have seen it with my own eyes. If we ask, Master, just get some mangoes, all you need to do is create a sound like a stone. Simply mango will fall. Simply mango will fall. You will just create a sound through the mouth as if a stone is being thrown. Tuck, the mango will fall. Not only mango, even coconut. And breaking coconut also he knows. Just take it in the hand and create a sound. It looks very strange. Actually, I asked him once, how this is possible, Master? How can you do this? Can we break the stone? I asked him, you know how to break coconut. Can we break the stone? Because I thought maybe in the hand he is pressing the coconut. Because he is a very powerful, very strong person. I have seen him doing even in public. He will tie the iron rope in the chest and inhale and exhale strongly and the rope will break. Iron rope. If I tell more things, it will look like more and more stories. It's a very strong person. I thought maybe in the hand he is breaking that coconut. Coconut he can break in the hand. What about stone? So I brought a stone for him and I kept that stone in front of him. All he did is just he sat, looked into the stone, just like connecting with that stone, created a sound. Tap, the stone has become two. But the sound which he creates, if you put your hand in between, your hand also gets hurt. Once I tried, when he was connecting with some object like this and trying to break, I tried to put my hand in between and I felt literally something is hitting the hand. Just as if the bone will break. It was so powerful, just the vibration. Just the vibration. Then I understood how the rishis have cursed people. See, you have a story, lot of stories, like Vishwamitra cursing somebody, Durvasa cursing somebody, Vasishta cursing somebody, these Vedic rishis cursing somebody. I was not able to relate. How can somebody say a word and it will become reality? When I saw this, I was able to relate. I understood, oh God, it would have been truth. Just a word, he can kill somebody. Just a sound. The old masters, Vedic masters, can just turn the whole life. Because they know the power of sound. They know how to use it. They know how to use sound particles. See, in course of time, Gita says, yogo nashta parantapaha. The truth or the inner science is lost in course of time. Because we have lost the keys, we can't say the treasure never existed. Understand? Just because we lost the keys today, we can't say the treasures never existed. Just because we did not experience these things, just because we did not get the right key, we have not tried in a right way, we have not experimented or experienced, we can't say the treasures did not exist. It existed. The truths existed. It was there. It was there. See, only when I saw him doing all these things, I understood the possibility of cursing, just creating some sound and creating the effects, even the wars when the wars are described in our scriptures, in our Mahabharata and Ramayana, they say with the arrow, when they concentrate on a person, they will create a particular vibration, mantra. For every astra there is a mantra. Varunastra or Nagastra or Brahmastra, for every weapon there is a mantra. They will create that vibration. That vibration will do the effect. The vibration will carry this arrow powerfully and do that effect, create that effect. Mastering the science of vibration is only taught in the Gurukulas. In the Gurukulas, kids, when they were learning under the enlightened masters, you see, to become a master of archery, you don't need to go to an enlightened being. To become a master of killing others, you don't need to go to an enlightened being. But in those days, even archery, even fighting with a sword, all the martial arts, everything is taught by an enlightened being. Why? Because it is not just physical. Something more than physical was involved. That is why they went to Dronacharya. They went to Kripacharya, who are enlightened beings, who are able to handle the power of vibrations, who knows the technique, method to handle the power of vibration, who can teach students to handle the power properly and to use that science of sound. Understand? 20 years ago, if somebody tells you, if somebody would have told you that if you just type few words in the computer, you can get to know about anything you want in the world, nobody would have believed. But today you can do it. Just type any word and search in the net. Anything. You name it, you have it. Anything. 20 years ago, nobody would have imagined this is possible. But today, it is possible. Understand? Same way, just because we are not seeing few things, never think it never existed. Just like a computer passwords are our olden days mantras. Those days mantras are just like computer passwords. If you now just type anything in the search in the internet, you will get the whole information. You will be able to do so much. Same way, those days our masters had passwords. Passwords for particular vibration, to handle particular thought, to handle particular sound. Those passwords are only called as mantras. They are only called as mantras. Why? Why we lost it? Why Durvasa is able to curse somebody? Why Vishwamitra is able to curse somebody? Why Vasishta is able to bless somebody? Why we are not able to? Why we are not able to? One more thing, we can't say Durvasa was pure because he was filled with irritation and anger. We can't say Vishwamitra was great, he was filled with fantasies and lust. Understand? When we hear the story, when Vishwamitra was meditating intensely, Menaka, Ramba, all the celestial girls, all the dancers from heaven came and disturbed him. Don't think somebody is sitting there and they are sending girls if you are meditating to disturb you. If somebody is sitting there and sending girls to disturb the people who are meditating, everybody will start meditating. Then meditation will become so popular. It's not that somebody is sending from there. It is his own suppressions. When you suppress too much, anything suppressed will become reality in your dream. When your logic is imbalanced, that will become reality. If you are suppressing something strongly, if your logic is imbalanced, your logic can become imbalanced if you don't eat well, if you are tired, it's not that only the sleeping will imbalance your logic. Even when you are tired, you can see sometime when you are driving or when you are too tired and relaxing, you will not be sleeping, but you will be like a daydreaming. You will be daydreaming. In front of you, so many things will be happening. You know, you are aware, but you can't come out of those visions. So if you suppress something too much, naturally it will come out. So same thing, Vishwamitra was sitting on a volcano, sitting on lust, sitting on fantasies, suppressing it. And one more thing, when you are suppressed too much, when it comes out, it will be too tasty. That is why, actually, if you fast for 3 days, you will be feasting in the dream. Now just 3 days, you fast, you will be feasting in the dreams, and it will be too tasty. That's the basic nature of mind. So suppression comes out. The suppressed thing only came out. It's not that Vishwamitra was great. Vishwamitra was just like us. I think worse than us. Because the way in which he describes the Rambar, Menaka, Urvasi and all those things, he must have had enough of suppression. He must have had too much of fantasies. That is why he is describing as if heavenly. One more thing, when you suppress, when they come out, they will come out wildly. And same way, when you are relaxed from the desire, when you are done with it, you will fall to a worst space. You will fall to such a low mood, such a low energy. That is what the story says. After the child, Vishwamitra says, no, I don't want to see you. Guilt, the desire and guilt, the peak of desire and the valley of guilt, both are directly connected. The peak was too much, same way valley was too much. Vishwamitra was just like us, Durvasa was just like us, but how they are able to use the power of sound and use the power of vibration, why we are not able to use? Understand, this is an important question. If you know the answer for this question, you can work on the Shiva Sutra. Now Shiva is giving technique, solution, just for this question. He is answering just this single question. Why Vishwamitra or Durvasa, who are filled with same lust and anger, were able to use the power of vibration? Why we are not able to use? Understand, the answer is cerebral layer. Let me explain that word. If Vishwamitra is filled with lust, he is filled with lust. If Durvasa is filled with anger, he is filled with anger. It is not borrowed from others, it is his own. Please understand, let me explain how we are corrupted even in our lust, how we are corrupted even in our anger. Even in our anger, we are not pure, we are not authentic. Even in our lust, we are not pure, we are not authentic. If Vishwamitra is angry, if Durvasa is angry, he will not sit and calculate whether the guy in front of me is my boss or subordinate. You will calculate. Understand? When you become angry, one part of you is still able to manage the calculation. He is my boss, too much is at risk, please relax. But Durvasa is not calculating. Durvasa doesn't know how to calculate. He is just fire. Authentic anger. I tell you, I am not telling you to shout at everybody or be violent at everybody. No. I am saying, integrate your anger, be authentic. Suddenly you will see anger leaves you. lust leaves you. Somebody came to me and asked, Swamiji, I'm addicted to smoking. I don't know what to do. Few days ago, I read a book and then dropped. I asked him, did you drop the smoking? No, I dropped reading books like that, which are confusing. Please do something. I told him, do one thing. First tell me, how did you start? He told me, when I was 15 or 16, I was standing in a shop with my friend. My friend was smoking. From a distance, my father saw, he misunderstood. He mistook that I am only smoking. The smoke was coming from me. So when I went back to home, he was shouting and he started beating me. In India, kids will be beaten. He was beating me. I thought, oh fellow, you already punished me, then why not smoke? I already received the punishment, then why not start smoking? Just my anger towards him, I started smoking. And I felt I have become a man when I say no to my father. The same problem you all will be facing in your house. When they say no to you, they feel that they have become independent. They are now man. They are now adults. They can think on their own. It is just the desire for freedom comes out as big no. Anything you say, all they know is no. Anything you try. See, to do some work, there are three ways. One, do it by yourself, or hire somebody to do, or tell your kids not to do. It will be done. Just anything, straight no. Because they feel strong when they say no to you. When they say no, their ego is feeling very strong. It's the nature. So I asked him, your anger towards your father only started this habit. First work on that anger. First be really authentic, integrate. See, if you are angry, express it on him. If you feel that expressing it on him will create karma, cycle, the chain, he will again express it on you, it will lead to one more karma, then at least know how to release it in the air. That's what we call releasing the samskaras, karma dahana. In Yoga Sutra, we have a technique, we have a method. If you can't express the anger on the other person, if you feel the cycle or the karma chakra will be created. Karma chakra means what? You will shout and she will beat and you will again shout, and it's just a routine. It will only get developed. If you feel that will happen, then at least release it in the air. But be authentic in your anger. When you are not authentic, it will start expressing in so many ugly ways. Understand? Anything, whether it is anger, guilt, lust, or pain, or fear, if you are not authentic with that emotion, with that energy, it will express it in a very perverted way. Very perverted way. All perversions, all mental disorders are just perverted or cerebral expressions, are disturbed, distorted expressions of these emotions. Understand? These emotions are power, energy to your being. You can see when you become angry, how energetic you become. Your whole body is alive. Every cell is just living. Your whole energy is alive. When you are filled with lust, you can see, when you are filled with lust, the fear won't be there. You won't have fear. No fear will be there. That is why even knowing the laws of the country, people commit mistakes. They know the laws of the country, the laws of the society, they know everything. But fear will not have place when you are filled with lust. Because the lust is power, energy. If you are authentic with that energy, the energy will liberate you. Understand? The energy will liberate you. Because all these energies, the lust is Muladhara Chakra, the base energy. Fear is second, Swadhisthana Chakra. Worry, constantly brooding over, guilt is Manipura, third chakra. Each of these energies are base material for your energy centers. Each of these energies are worshipped as gods in our tradition. Understand? Each of these chakras are worshipped as gods in our tradition. We worship lust. We worship fear. Worshipping lust is the Shivalinga. See, our masters are so courageous to put the Shivalinga in the temple and worship, because the authentic energy, if you are authentic with your lust, you will be liberated. If you are authentic with your fear, you will be liberated. With any emotion, if you are authentic, you will be liberated. The main problem with us, we are not authentic with anything, constantly calculating. With any emotion, before expressing, you start calculating the after effects and side effects. If the after effect is going to be too serious, you just suppress it. If it is not going to be serious, you shout too much. I have seen. Same mistake. Who does? That only decides the punishment. Who does decides. Please understand, everything else is a story. No, I am equal to all, that and all. You can tell for others, not for yourself. At least with yourself, be authentic. Integrate. One more thing, person who never looks into his problems, person who constantly believes he is integrated, person who thinks I am okay, person who is not ready to look into his problem will never be able to achieve the truth. Authenticity. See, one thing, at least you should know the accounts properly. At least you should know the accounts properly. To others, you can tell stories. To others, you tell stories, no problem. I have this, I am that. At least for you, you should know the accounts. You should know the truth. You should know the fact. Let you know the facts about you completely. Sit and analyze. If the same mistake, if this guy does, how I will react. Same mistake, if this person does, how I am reacting. Try to grind, try to polish, try to be honest with yourself. Integrating yourself, bringing honesty to yourself is the only way to remove the hypocrisy. Person who has removed the hypocrisy from the inner space will experience enlightenment. Ramakrishna says beautifully, integrating your inner chattering and your words spoken is enlightenment. You will be shocked. He says, just integrate your inner chattering and the words which you are uttering. Let both of them be integrated. You are enlightened. He says, Man mukh ek karo. The mind and the words, inner chattering and the words, if they are connected, you are liberated. I tell you, to live in a body in which the inner chattering and the words are connected is heaven. Is heaven. No other pleasure can show you that ecstasy like living in a body where this inner chattering and the verbal words, spoken words are integrated. It is just pure ecstasy. It's a pure ecstasy. Living inside, it feels so good. Constant ecstasy. That's what I call Nithyananda. If you can live inside a body in which the inner chattering and the spoken words are integrated, they are in tune, suddenly you will see you are living inside a hollow bamboo. You are living with such a vast inner space. As and now, you feel constantly suffocated. That is why you can't sit with yourself. Sometime, actually, I had a 1 week vacation just before coming to Ohio. 1 week vacation means no work, no program. Somehow the situation was such that I was not able to continue my regular programs. 1 week. You will be surprised to know, not even 1 week, 9 days. I sat in my room, did not come out of the room 9 days, no TV. No TV, no music, no iPad, no video, nothing. No entertainment things. Just I sat, 9 days I did not come out. People who are taking care of me, the ashramites who are traveling with me, they said, Swamiji, let's go and have fresh air here, and let's go here, let's go there. I said, no, I don't feel like. 9 days, you see, it is not that I felt like going out and I controlled myself. I don't have to. I don't have to. If I think, simply I can go out and go around and do sightseeing and everything. There was no other routine, no other work. But I didn't feel like. Morning I'll get up, just sit, and maybe 1 or 2 meals in a day, and then just sit and relax. Even people who lived around me were shocked because they have never seen me sitting in one place for 9 days. 9 days I did not come out of the room. Full 9 days. They were asking, what is this, Swamiji, why? I said, just I don't feel like. Understand, you can sit with yourself only if your mind and words are integrated. Only if you have enough inner space. We were in the Vancouver, Canada, and there is so much of skiing, snow, everything is going on around. They were saying, Swamiji, let's go here, let's go there. I said, no, nothing is there. What is there? I am completely comfortable with myself. I can sit with myself for hours. I don't need anything to entertain me. We need so much of entertainment because we can't sit with ourselves. Suffocation. Understand? If you can't sit with yourself, your inner chattering and the spoken words are not integrated. You can't experience power of sound. The basic quality to experience power of sound, power of vibration, you must be able to sit with yourself, doing nothing. People are shocked. They ask me, how can you just sit? I say, what is there? How can you not just sit? Human beings have lost one big dimension of the life. If you can't sit with yourself, be very clear, you have lost one major dimension of your life. Person who is born blind, he can't understand what he is missing. You can't explain to him. Person who is blind from birth, can you explain to him what he is missing? No. Even if you try to explain, he will only misunderstand. A small story. One blind guy born from birth, blind from birth. One friend came to him and said, "My child died." He asked, "Why? Why did your child die?" "No, we gave little milk, and that milk, because of that milk he died." Milk. Milk means what? No, it will be white, liquid. White. White means, don't you know? It's like a bird. It's like a crane. Crane. Crane means what? How it will be? Oh, he just put the hand to explain and told that blind friend, touch and feel, like this only it will be there. Crane. Then the friend felt the hand and said, "Such big thing, if you give it to child, it will die only." How can it swallow? If you try to explain something to a person who is blind from birth, he can't relate. And you can't even make him understand what he is missing. Same way I tell you, if you can't sit with yourself, what you are missing, I can't explain. Not able to sit with themselves means does not have so much of inner space, so much of suffocation, so much of suffocation. Get all the unnecessary furniture and junk from your inner space out. See, now it's like you got too many furnitures, not only furnitures. Somehow you feel all this junk will be useful sometime. These mad people, if you have seen, the mad people, they will go around and collect everything. Every cover, bag, all the things from the road. And if you ask them why, no, it will be useful at some point. They will keep all those things in the house and they will be sleeping outside. Now that is what we are doing. We have collected enough furnitures and junk. Furniture means which you are using now. Junk means which you are thinking you will use it in the future. But you will never use it. Collecting everything and keeping in the inner space, and you are sleeping outside. You are never able to enter in your inner space. So much smell. It is so dirty. You always live outside with your TV, with your iPad, with your laptop, with your car, or with some other entertainment programs. You not able to sit with yourself means you are not able to enter into your own home, your own inner space. Understand, you are completely cheated by this consumeristic culture. The worst thing which can happen to human beings is being cheated by the consumeristic culture. Consumeristic culture means you can have anything, have more, have more, have more, have more. What to do? That later on will take care. That will think later on. Now have more. You are bombarded with desires. You are blasted with advertisements. Constantly. So much of please don't mistake me. I am not disrespecting, but I am telling you the truth. So much of advertisement for food and medicine is not good. See, constantly you are seeing the restaurants. You see, I am not comparing or criticizing. Everywhere, so much of advertisement for food. What will happen? Every time when you see a food, such big burger photographs, and you will think, why not have one? So much of consumeristic attitude, life. Understand, you lose your inner space. Inner space is lost. You can't sit with yourself because you are constantly. One more thing, you are taught, you are conditioned. If you are sitting with yourself, you are lazy, useless. I am not telling you to be lazy. I am not encouraging you to be lazy. But I am saying, when you want, you should be able to sit with yourself. You should have integrity, clarity, freedom, energy, just to sit with yourself. Person who can't sit with himself. He may have anything, he will not have his self. You may have anything. You may can't. Why people need so much of entertainment? I have seen the people in India, I have seen, they will be 80 or 85. They would have got married, their sons would have got married, their grandkids would have got married, nothing to do. Even they can't sit with themselves. From morning till night, they will be reading that same old Hindu paper, newspaper, with a big glass and matrimonial columns. What for? Nobody knows. Just because they can't sit with themselves. No, truth. All the old magazines they will collect and they will be sitting and reading. What is there in the old newspaper? No, what else is there to do? Because running so much, you lost the ability to sit with yourself. You lost the ability to sit with yourself. The cerebral layer means disintegrated being, unconnected being, completely disconnected with yourself is the reason why we are not able to experience the power of sound. Understand? When Vishwamitra can experience, when Durvasa can experience, when Arjuna can experience, it is not Arjuna is great, an enlightened being. This fellow is pakka selfish fellow, using all the powers to kill people and not even moral way, using all crooked methods. But he is able to use all the powers. He handled. Then why can't we? The only reason is they are authentic even in their anger. See, anger itself is not wrong, lust itself is not wrong, but from where it comes. If it comes in an uncorrupted way, in a pure way, you will live it and live it. You don't have to drop smoking. Smoking will drop you. If you are complete, if you are really smoking just for smoking, not because of your anger towards the father turns as a habit of smoking, then you can't be healed. You can never be healed. Understand? If you are not able to drop the addiction, some addiction, be very clear, you are not addicted to that. The root of the addiction is somewhere else. People come and tell me, I am addicted to alcohol. Swamiji, please heal me, cure me. I tell them, what do you mean by the word addiction? Do you want to drink? No. Then why do you drink? At that point, I want to drink. Why? You know you don't want to drink. How can you say you are not able to control? People ask me, please, you control me, Swamiji. What do you mean by it? You want me to take away your car key? And what do you mean by you control me? You are intelligent enough. Just understand, difficulty is they are not directly addicted to alcohol. Some other anger or vengeance, some other emotion got perverted, and that is associated with addiction. Like a story I told you, that boy is not directly addicted to cigarette. No, his anger took a perversion and he started smoking. Whenever he smokes, his unconscious feels satisfied, he is taking revenge on his father. He always says, when I leave that smoke, I feel I am leaving it on my father's face. I am blowing it on my father's face. His unconscious feels satisfied when it uses the anger in some other way. He feels satisfied. I am taking revenge on my father. Impossible. you can't drop addiction. You can't drop addiction unless you are authentic, unless you are able to understand to what you are addicted. I told him, you are addicted to the anger, vengeance to your father. You are not directly addicted to smoking. Heal that. Smoking will drop you. You don't have to drop smoking. Smoking will drop you. If you are addicted to something, understand, if you are not able to drop something through your logical analyzing, be very clear, you have the perverted emotions. You have the perverted being. Your inner chattering and the spoken words are not integrated, are not clearly connected. They are not directly relating with each other. The power of sound can be experienced only if your spoken words and the inner chattering is directly connected. Durvasa is not bothered when when the anger fills him. He doesn't bother who is cursing. He cursed Shiva. You know that? He cursed Shiva, Mahadeva. He did not even bother who he is cursing. When he is filled with anger, he is authentic. When Vishwamitra was filled with lust, he was authentic. When he was filled with guilt, he was authentic. When you are authentic with any emotion, when you are directly connected to that emotion will liberate you. It will liberate you. No emotion will bind you. They will bind you only when you are not facing them face to face. Only when you are not connecting with them directly. Even fear. When you go into the fear, you will be liberated. Here, Shiva is giving a beautiful technique to work on the power of sound. Let me read the sutra in Sanskrit, then we will know the meaning and how to use this technique. Understand? Now we all know there is something called power of sound. Means the sound can transport you to a different plane of existence. There were masters who used this science, and I told you even experiences from my life. And now we have a technique how to use it in our life, and we know why they were able to use and we are not able to use. The reason why they were able to experience the power of sound and why we are not able to experience. Here we have the technique for the problem also. We have the solution for that problem. Just understand these three things. Through the power of sound, you can be transported to a different plane of existence, and it is possible. Many have lived. Second fact, we are not able to live. Something is wrong with us. How we can achieve that same power? How we can relate, connect with that power? Here Shiva is giving us the technique for two things. One, how to connect yourself, elevate yourself to the level where you can use the power of sound. And the second, how to use that power of sound and achieve enlightenment. Two things. He is first going to help you to integrate. Next, he is going to help you to evolve. Integrating yourself and evolving beyond yourself. Here he is giving the technique. Let me read the sutra. Pranavadi samucharat plutante sunya bhavanat sunyaya paraya shaktye sunyatam iti bhairavihi. Again, the big problem is translation. Sanskrit is such a poetic language. You can't translate poems. Even from English poems to English prose, no. You can't translate. If you translate, you can say what he means, but you can't say what all he wants to express. Maybe you can express only one dimension. Poem is like a 360-degree vision. Prose is like a 120-degree vision. Poem is like a 360-degree vision. Prose is like a 120-degree vision. Only one slice of a pizza. One bit. You can't express the whole truth. And here I am trying to translate a Sanskrit poem to English. Maybe I will try to give the technique, that's all. I don't think I will be able to translate the sutra completely. Intone a sound, O Bhairavi, as Om, the A-U-M, A-U-Ma, the Pranava. Slowly, as sound enters the soundfulness, let you also enter and become enlightened. Very simple sutra. If you don't understand the sutra, it's okay. Understand the technique, that's more than enough. I'll explain the technique. I'm reading the sutra just for future, just to put it on record. Pranavadi samucharat pludante sunyabhavanat sunyaya paraya shaktya sunyatam eti bhairavihi. O Bhairavi, by perfect intonation of a pranava, A, U, A, U, Ma, or the sacred syllable Om, by contemplating over the void at the end of the sound, as sound enters into the soundfulness, let you also enter into that energy and be liberated. This is the technique from Mahadeva to Devi. He is addressing, O Bhairavi. Bhairavi is the word. Bhairavi is the name of the Devi. He is addressing, O Bhairavi, use this technique and let the people experience enlightenment. This technique is given for us through Devi. Devi is enlightened, no doubt. It is given to us so that we will become enlightened. This Murti is made out of the Dhyana Sloka from this book. In this book, it describes Devi was sitting in the lap of Shiva and he was teaching the Shiva Sutras. The same way this Murti was designed. Because I feel this is the book of the books. This book is beyond, incomparable. No other book can claim that they have solution for all possible problems. Here, practically Shiva solves all the existed and yet to exist problems. He gives solution for everything. He says, intone a sound as A-U-M, Om, A-U-Ma, slowly. As sound enters soundfulness, let you also enter and liberate. Let's understand the technique first. And let me connect how this is going to directly help to integrate our inner chattering and verbalization. how it is going to create more inner space, how it is going to integrate us, and how it can elevate us to different plane of existence. How it can elevate us to different plane of existence. Understand? When you create a particular sound, your mind will be occupied only with that sound, especially loudly. If you are creating internally, you will be doing 2-3 things. I always tell people, don't close your eyes and sit here. People think, no, Swamiji, I am meditating and listening. No. Good listener is a person who is thinking about something else. You will be sitting and acting as if a good listener. What you will be doing? He is lost somewhere else. If you are using the words internally, your whole being will not be integrated. No. Create the sound loudly. Let others also listen. Actually, you listen what you think only when you talk to others. See in your life, many times, when you talk to others about your idea, you yourself get new ideas. People think you planned and now you are coming and giving presentation. No. Suddenly you discovered it. That's all. When you are talking to others, suddenly you discover it. Actually, great truths are discovered when they are presenting the truths. That's all. It was not discovered earlier by contemplating and thinking and then presentation is given. No. Orators, speakers look very intelligent, filled with wisdom, because they are constantly discovering when they talk. If you want to be an intelligent person, don't think you need to think, contemplate, meditate and discover the truths. No. Just start talking to the people as if you know the truth. Now I am giving you some of the business secrets. No, some of the great truths. In Sanskrit, we say, by listening, you learn only 1/4. By meditating and contemplating, you know half. The third portion, you will learn only when you talk to others. And the fourth part will be experienced through the experience. You will become a complete being when you experience it. 25% of truth and the knowledge and the new things can happen to you if you talk loud. If you talk to others, 25% new things can happen to you. That is why people go on talking. Now, because once you found the neck, God, when I am talking, new things are coming up into my being. I am expressing new things. You start enjoying talking. Even if you don't have somebody, just catch somebody. Or you have pets who can't run away. Start talking. Start giving your presentations. And you will see, suddenly you are talking too many intelligent things. And things are falling in tune. Here, Shiva also says, start loudly. Only then you will be listening. You won't listen if you are chanting internally. People ask me, Swamiji, if I chant inside silently, it will be nice. No. You will feel nice because you have fallen asleep. People come out and tell me, no, Swamiji, I chanted very silently. It was so great. It was such a great experience. Don't think it is a meditative experience. You would have slept, maybe a good sleeping pill. Chanting some mantra internally, inside the mind, may be a good technique for sleeping, not for falling into meditation. Falling into meditation, start with a loud voice. And slowly you will see your whole inner being is filled with that voice. Your whole energy is concentrated to that sound. Now, slowly reduce the sound. Go to the depth from where that sound is rising, from where that sound is arising, from where that sound is coming out. Go to that source. Go to that being. You will see your inner space filled with soundfulness. I want all of you to know, silence is not soundlessness. Soundlessness, absence of sound, is dead silence. If you are jumping, if you are working towards the soundlessness directly, you will only be constantly disturbed, irritated by other sounds. People, the so-called meditators, the silent meditators, they will create such a hell to the whole house. They will tell, hey, keep quiet, switch off the cell phone, switch off the telephone. The noise which they make, and they will be so filled with irritation. And I have seen people who are working towards the absence of sound, who want absence of sound. For them to meditate for 10-20 minutes, they will turn the whole house upside down. They will shout at this person, that person, and after shouting, before sitting for meditation, they will shout, go around, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. After coming out of the meditation, they will come and shout, you didn't have sense when I was meditating, you did that, you did that. Even if you do something, create some noise, and other times they won't record so clearly. It means what? When they were sitting in meditation, they were recording like a voicemail. Whatever was going on was getting recorded. People who work for the soundlessness, and even when they were sitting, they will be so irritated. Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna. Don't you have a sense? I am meditating. Keep quiet. Ramakrishna, 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 Ramakrishna. When you are working towards the dead silence, even a small sound will irritate and disturb you. You are bound to be, because you are excluding. Anything which you exclude will take revenge on you. Anything you exclude will take revenge on you. And you will see purposely sounds are coming towards you. They are traveling. Sometime, even if the sounds don't come, you will be waiting for them. A small story like this. One great guy who is trying to work with that absence of sound. The dead meditators, I call them. With a long face, serious, and they can't tolerate even a small sound. They need absolute silence. Absolute means pin drop silence. One fellow, like this guy, sitting in the banks of lake, the village tank, and meditating. That's where people usually meditate after taking bath. They will sit there and meditate. One day he heard the sound of anklets. One girl came to fetch water. First anklet up, the sound of anklets, and that water, glug, glug. When they put the pot in the lake, when the pot gets filled, that sound. That fellow opened the eyes and saw. Irritated, shouted, don't you have sense? I am meditating here. Why don't you come without anklet? Next day, she came without anklet. But the water fetching, that sound, he got irritated. He shouted, why don't you come with some other vessel which will not create sound? The third day he was sitting in meditation, just expecting the anklet sound and the water sound. The third day, even if you don't get the sound, you will be just expecting to get irritated, to get that sound. You will be waiting for some sound. When you want complete the soundless silence, you are in trouble. Here Shiva says, enter into the soundfulness, the intensity of sound, then no sound can disturb you. No sound can disturb you. He says, go into that sound, source of the sound. That's what we call anahata dvani, uncreated sound. The sound which is not created, which is not created by two things hitting. Ahata means created or hitting. Anahata means uncreated, the primal sound. When you go to that soundfulness, you will experience a sound which is silence, the silence which can't be disturbed by any sound. Silence which can't be disturbed by any sound is the true silence. Silence is not absence of sound. Silence means intense living silence. Understand? I am giving a new meaning for the word silence. Intense living silence, not dead graveyard silence. These guys who are working for the dead silence, soundlessness, even in graveyard they will not be relaxed. They will say, oh, the air sound is coming, or some bird chirping. They will be disturbed by some sound. If you are excluding, you will be disturbed. If you are including, nothing can disturb you. Shiva is a great master who includes everything. Who includes everything. Let me describe the technique so that you can play with this technique. Play with this powerful technique. Understand? This technique will do two work. One, will first heal you, integrate you, so that you can start experimenting and experiencing the power of sound. You will achieve the state of Vishwamitra or Vasishta or Durvasa. You will be able to play with the power of sound. The second thing, you will be able to use this same technique to elevate you to the enlightened consciousness. Healing you is one part, elevating you is second part. Healing you means bringing you to the level of Durvasa, Vasishta or the Vishwamitra. Elevating you means what I said, that just by sound you can walk on fire, you will not be burnt. That is elevating. Transporting you to the different plane of existence. Both can be done by just this one technique. People ask me, technique seems to be so small, how can such big work happen, Swamiji? It feels like too good to be true. Understand? When you get a key, when you get a small key, if you start analyzing logically, gosh, such big house, such small key, I think this owner is cheating me. Do not use your negative logic before you try. Just try. Try for a few days. At least you should have tried few times, then you can decide whether it opens or not. Our logic, gosh, problem is so big, but solution is so small, house is so big. Key doesn't have to be house size, but at least it should be door size. Logically, that is what it should be. Na? It may not be house size, at least it should be door size. But it is too much. 20 feet tall house and just 3-inch key. How can this open? My problems are so big, and the Swami is giving half an hour discourse, and he says, I can become Vasishta, I can become Vishwamitra. What he means by it? Understand, I am not here to give you any false promise. No. I am not here to give you something which is too good to be true. I am here just to share the things which I experienced, and just to share the technology which millions have experienced. Millions have experienced. This technology is developed by at least 2 million inner scientists with 10,000 years of research and development, practiced by 1 billion people around the world. This is the essence of the Vedic tradition. Vedic tradition boasts at least 10 million inner scientists and 10 million inner science laboratories. In India, we have 1 crore temples and ashrams. 1 crore temples and ashrams where every day congregation happens. We don't believe in holiday religion. No. Every day congregation happens. 1 crore inner science laboratories and 10 million, same way, 1 crore inner scientists who are working with this technology, who are working with these mantras, with these great truths, and 1 billion people following this technology. Understand, I am expressing the experience of the great masters. All you need to do, just play with these techniques. You don't even have to be a serious meditator. Serious meditator is a guy who is depressed. No, really. All these so-called serious meditators, depressed fellows, they can't laugh. No, really. Just go to the serious meditators' places, they can't laugh. They can't laugh. They lose the nature. They become so serious and so arrogant. God, even God can't help them. Because they become arrogant in the name of God. They become serious in the name of simplicity. They will try seriously to be simple. They will try so seriously to be simple. The whole joy is lost. Being simple means being with all your mistakes. That's all. Nothing else. That's all. Just accept yourself. If you can't accept you, at least accept you can't accept you as you are. That's all. Either accept yourself with all your mistakes, or accept you can't accept you. At least that. Over. But they will try their best. No, first this, first that. And this step-by-step process creates all confusion. Here, Shiva gives you simple and straightforward techniques. That is why this book did not become popular. No, really. If Shiva gives you some complicated techniques, blow your nose 100 times, count 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and hold for 10 minutes and blow it in the other way for 8 times and bend your back 20 times, sit in that posture, this posture, then people feel ego satisfaction. No, really. They feel their ego is satisfied. Now I learnt some yoga, some technique. They feel they received something worthy. Simple things do not appeal to an intellectual mind. Simple things people don't feel connected to it. They become so complicated. Anything which is very complicated, they feel connected. I have seen, when I tell people, go around the hill 10 times in my native place, that going around the hill is a famous tradition. 16 kilometers, they will have to walk 10 miles. If I tell them, please go around that Arunachala hill, do the Girivalam for 10 times, they will leave so happily that they will go out and tell, Swamiji gave me big solution. all my problems disappeared. I am so happy I came and met him. If I tell them, please sit for 10 minutes and meditate every day, I think this Swami doesn't know much. This Swami doesn't know much about spirituality. It's okay. I think he is after all young person. He will not know too much about spirituality. I think anyhow, whatever he knows, he told me. But I will go for second opinion. See, when you tell something which is straight, people feel it's okay. I just came to see what he tells. I just came to check out. And they don't feel connected. And if you teach them, if you nicely blast them, actually you should beat them, then they are happy. Left and right, blow in this nose 10 times, in this nose 11 times, bend this way, sit like this way, that way, then they are quite happy. Yes, I paid $200, I got some material. I learned something. But here Shiva is straight away giving a simple technique. He says, chant the Omkara loudly with that same loud expression. Go into the source from where the sound is coming from your being. He is not telling you how to sit. He is not even telling you should not lie down. You can even lie down. He is not putting any condition. He is not giving you anything else. He is not telling you should not eat this, you should not eat that, you should not do that, you should not do this. Nothing. Actually, inside, unconsciously, everybody wants some do's and don'ts. Because you are trained to live with the do's and don'ts. Here, Shiva is not giving any do's and don'ts. No. He is just giving you the technique and he is telling, be authentic. That is where the problem starts. That is where the problem starts. It is too simple. If it is very complicated, you start feeling connected and you start practicing it. If it is too simple, because you don't feel any respect towards it, you don't practice it. That's why I always tell people, in our meditation camps, I make them do there itself. Once you do, then you know. Then you know the power of it. Then you know the power of this technique. Today, we will also, just for 10 minutes, we will try this technique and see the power of it. See, if I just give you the glimpse of this meditation, only one experience with this meditation, you will not stop doing it. You will never miss it. Giving one glimpse of this great technique is what we call initiation, diksha. Diksha means making the person experience at least once, so that he will continue. He will continue to experiment. See, if you experience once, that's enough. You will continue to experience. You will continue to practice. But till then, your intellect will be playing its own game. At least once I should show how the key opens. Then if I hand over the key, you know, yes, this key opens this house. Then you can be inside the house or outside the house. You will have confidence. This key opens. Even if once I don't show, you will not even have the confidence to use the key. So now, let us work on the key just for a few minutes. Let me explain the technique once more. You will create intense, deep sound of Omkara. Om. When you create that sound, for a few minutes you will be listening to that sound. After a few minutes, let you be creating the sound loudly. Along with that, just internally search the source of the sound, from where that very vibration is coming. Where is the source of that vibration, that sound? Understand? First you will listen the sound which you are creating, then you will go to the source of the sound, from where the sound is coming. I will guide you step by step. You can try. Please sit in a relaxed way. You don't have to sit straight and all. Sit in a very relaxed way. And you can close your eyes. For some reason, if you can't sit for next 10 minutes to do this meditation, or if you feel you don't want to do the meditation for some reason, you are free to leave the hall, or you can just sit with closed eyes. But please do not open your eyes during the meditation, because if you open your eyes and see this side and that side or talk, you will be disturbing others. Just for that, either meditate. If you don't feel like, you can just sit. One more thing, the sound should come from navel. If it comes from throat, your throat will become dry. The sound should come from a deep level. Just create like a vibration. Oh. More like a vibration than like a sound. I am not telling you to shout, oh, no. I am telling you to create it from the navel. Please close your eyes. Just inhale and exhale as slowly as possible. Now start creating the vibration from your navel with closed eyes. Oh. Create intensely, not loudly, like a vibration. Oh. Intensely. Create more intensely. intone, intensely create this vibration from your navel center. Create from your navel. Now, continue to create the sound and slowly see the source. Continue to create the vibration, but seek the source from where the vibrations are raising, from where the sound is coming. Go into the source, search the source. just enter that soundfulness, enter the source from where the sound is coming, from where the sound is arising. Now slowly reduce the sound. Just reduce the sound, but enter into the source from where the sound is coming. Don't stop, just reduce the sound, but enter into the source from where the sound is coming. Go to the source of the sound. Go into the source of the sound. Now relax. Let your eyes be closed. Do not create any sound, but just go to the source of the sound, from where the sound was coming. Enter into that source, soundfulness. Let your eyes be closed. Go to the source from where the sound was rising, sound was coming. Just be with the memory of that soundfulness. Just be with the memory of that soundfulness. Om Nithyanandam. Relax. You can open your eyes. Now I took just 10 minutes to give you the glimpse. Try at least for 10 days. Just play with this technique for 10 days. Suddenly you will find you are able to sit with yourself without any entertainment, and you are feeling the inner space much, much more than what you are feeling now. The suffocation which is there, irritation which is there in you will not exist in your inner space, suddenly you will see you are in different plane of existence altogether. You will see, because many have experimented and experienced with this technique. I myself worked with this technique and it just does miracles. Let you all achieve and radiate the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you.